This tale from Indian mythology reminds us that power and privilege come with great responsibility, and one moment of carelessness can have lasting consequences. Let's dive into the story.
King Parikshit was a famous ruler from the Kuru dynasty. He was the grandson of Arjuna and the son of Abhimanyu and Uttara. Known for his bravery and wisdom, Parikshit brought prosperity to his kingdom and performed three great Ashwamedha yajnas on the banks of the river Ganga to demonstrate his power and uphold Dharma. He married Iravati, the daughter of a noble prince, and together they had four sons. The youngest, Janamejaya, later became an important figure in history. Although Parikshit was a great king, his story took a tragic turn because of one rash decision. One day, King Parikshit was traveling through a dense forest. He had been hunting and felt thirsty after hours of wandering. Looking for water, he came across a hermitage that belonged to a sage named Samika. When Parikshit entered, he saw the sage sitting still in deep meditation, completely unaware of his surroundings. The king asked the sage for water, but there was no response. He called out again, but the sage remained silent, deeply immersed in his spiritual practice. Parikshit, who was tired and irritated, lost his patience. Out of anger and frustration, he picked up a dead snake lying nearby and placed it around the sage's neck as an insult. When the sage's son, Sringin, heard about this insult, he was furious. Sringin was a young and powerful ascetic, deeply protective of his father. In a fit of anger, he cursed King Parikshit, declaring, 7 days from now, the mighty serpent King Takshaka will bite Parikshit and he will die. When sage Samika awoke from his meditation, he learned of what had happened. He was disheartened by his son's curse. The sage believed that anger should not be used to punish mistakes, even those of a king. However, the curse could not be taken back. When King Parikshit heard about the curse, he realized his mistake and deeply regretted his impulsive actions. He accepted the curse with dignity, understanding that it was a consequence of his behavior. Instead of trying to escape his fate, he decided to spend his remaining days in spiritual reflection. He returned to his kingdom, handed over the throne to his son Janamejaya, and gave up all worldly pleasures. Seeking peace, he turned to the great sage Sukadeva, the son of Vedvyasa. For 7 days, Parikshit listened to Sukadeva narrate the Bhagavata Purana, a sacred scripture filled with stories of devotion and wisdom. The teachings calmed Parikshit's mind and helped him accept death without fear. On the 7th day, as Parikshit sat in meditation, Takshaka, the serpent king, arrived in disguise. Pretending to be a Brahmin, Takshaka approached the king unnoticed. Then, in his true form, Takshaka struck the king with a venomous bite, fulfilling the curse. King Parikshit died peacefully, having already prepared himself for the end. Janamejaya, Parikshit's son, was devastated by his father's death. Filled with anger and grief, he vowed to avenge him. He decided to perform a grand sacrificial ritual called the Sarpasatra, in which all snakes would be summoned and sacrificed in a massive fire. Powerful priests chanted sacred hymns, drawing snakes from every corner of the world into the fire. Terrified, Takshaka sought refuge with Lord Indra, the king of the gods. But the chants of the priests were so powerful that even Indra's protection could not stop Takshaka from being dragged toward the sacrificial fire. At this point, Lord Brihaspati, a wise teacher of the gods, intervened. He advised Janamejaya to let go of his anger and end the ritual. Brihaspati reminded him that vengeance would only lead to more suffering. Janamejaya understood the wisdom of these words and stopped the sacrifice, sparing Takshaka and the remaining serpents.
Parikshit teaches us several important lessons. Control your anger. Parikshit's downfall began because he acted impulsively out of frustration. This shows us that anger can lead to actions we regret. Accept responsibility. Parikshit acknowledged his mistake and faced the consequences with dignity, teaching us the importance of taking responsibility for our actions. Forgiveness over revenge. Chanamajaya's decision to forgive the snakes reminds us that forgiveness can end cycles of hatred and bring peace.